Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now today is the commemoration of Saba Day that happened in 1990. And during this day, it is coming clear that religious leaders are finally joining the youth. They are encouraging Gen Zs, they are standing with Gen Z, and indeed they support this movement, they support this idea, they support this new fight. People whom Ruto was aligning with for their support. Amani presented himself as the candidate of the church. Today, both Christians and Muslims are in agreement that the regime is the worst, and therefore they are supporting the cause by the youth. And we have a very, very encouraging message here from Sheikh to the youth who have been on the street. And it's just important on this day to let them know that this is the message to encourage them in this new fight.
Point of today's khutbah. A message to the youth, to the young generation, to the Gen Zs. My beloved youth, you represent the feelings, the spirit, the rage, and the aspirations of an overwhelming majority of our people. No doubt, you've been the voice of Kenya and all Kenyans. Your contestations represent the pulse of our nation. You peacefully and passionately exercised your constitutional rights. Your motion was devoid of the dynamics that divide our society, including class, tribe, political affiliation, religion, and race. You've been no doubt avid and ardent of ridding this nation of political corruption, opulence, state capture of institutions, and the rampant abuse of systems, especially by the political class and the state functionaries. You've been passionately addressing broad waste, abuse, and plunder of our national resources. Let me say, and let it be heard loud and clear, you have embodied the highest form of struggle and jihad, as encapsulated by our noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When asked, Ayyul jihadi afdal, which is the best form of jihad? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam responded, Kalimatu haqqin inda sultanin jair, a word of truth spoken before an unjust ruler. In your pursuit of truth and justice, you have faced unimaginable hardships. You have lost loved ones. You have been abducted, maimed, and murdered for the cause. All we can offer, and I say this on behalf of Kenya and Kenyans, all we can offer is our deepest gratitude and prayers. Thank you, and may God bless you. We share your pain and agony, and we stand with you in empathy for the suffering you have endured. We honor the sacrifices that you have made, what we have been trying to strive for decades, and we honor the lives that have been lost in this noble struggle.
Now, we are continuing this final discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you've not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, the truth is that the youth in this country have become the voice of the voiceless. There is silent majority who have been suffering in silence, but no one has been speaking for them. The elders, the middle class, the rich, the poor, the young ones, you name them. Nothing like ethnicity, no tribalism, no realignment of religion. It's just all about youth coming out to speak on behalf of this majority. With all this, they are now dealing with the political class. These people have always played with the minds of Kenyans. You elect someone to the parliament to represent your interest. The person gets there, he changes and represents another person's interest. For example, in parliament, the majority members of parliament, close to 200, who voted yes, they were voting yes on finance bill to please William Ruto. So they are representing the interest of William Ruto. And even Ruto himself, he's pushing for the finance bill to police IMF and World Bank. So he even turns against the people who elected him to police another person who is an outsider, a person who does not pay tax in this country. And it is all dealing a blow with our economy. So with this, youth are now taking up the mantle. They are here to fight, and they have been doing so. This is what I believe it is now encouraging the religious leaders to come out and give a message of courage to the youth, to show them that indeed they stand with them, indeed they feel their pain, and they want to embrace this cause that the youth are taking going forward. Those days, 1990s, people like James Orengo, Martin Shikuku, Raila Odinga, there are many. Hata huyo Miguna wa vituko walikuwa hapo. You know, they used to fight for independence, second liberation of this country, multi-party democracy, freedom of speech, and all those. Koigi Wamwere. There are so many people. And at the end of the day, they won it. That time when we used to see religious leaders getting to the road and protest, unakumbuka kina Njoya. That was a man of God, but he used to go to the street and join the protest. He was beaten, mistreated, intimidated, but he stood up. This time round, what the pastors and bishops are doing and sheikhs, it is just to encourage this youth to continue with this journey, to know that the church, the mosque is behind them, that the religious leaders are behind this fight, that they are offering their support to them. And this is not the way they are stopping from. If you check carefully, you realize that even in the mosque, when the youth were overwhelmed, beaten, harmed, the mosque provided an area set aside for treatment of these people, first aid treatment. So that those who are offering the service, they got a place where they can at least do that work. So they offered a space. Ukaenda paka kule kwa cathedral ya Nairobi, the Catholic Church opened their gates. They offered treatment. They offered water to those who were injured. So it tells you that the church is in support of this. Therefore, Ruto should know that it is not all well with him. All is not well with him. Remember the Pope message. He was clearly standing with the youth. He condemned the government. So leaders are now coming out to tell William Ruto the truth. It is time to listen to Gen Z. And as you listen, don't go there to listen in return with lies. The youth have been silent for too long. They have been lied to for a long time. It is no longer time to lie again. It is just time for truth. So this man has to walk the truth. If all he has trained for is just how to lie, then he should prepare to go home. Go home for good. If he's not ready to change, then the change will change him. And the change is coming with these youth who are on the street. So on this day, Sheikh is here to give you a word of comfort. He goes ahead to talk about those who have been injured, those who have suffered, the hardship they have gone through, the unnecessary hardship. You lose your loved ones. He's still encouraging in all this. And with all this, the struggle must continue. Because when we leave it on the way, we will not sort out the problem. Maybe we were just testing the water. It's not time to test how deep is the water. It is time to challenge the administration. And the youth have been so vocal. They have used every available opportunity, be it social media, they have been there, on the internet, You come on ground, they are taking over. You go to space, they have been there. So they are all over. And it is time to destroy the tyranny. It is time to end this issue of tyranny, because Ruto will always have tyranny when it comes to making this major decision like voting. Because when you are in a position to buy members of parliament, you compromise them, you buy them. When you are in a position to intimidate them, you compromise them. They get defeated because they cannot stand to speak their mind. Simply they will be intimidated with the maybe corruption cases if they have. Yani mtu tu akitaka kuongea, you wave the file. Ananyamaza. So it is time to tell also those who are corrupt to go home. Because if you are being led by a corrupt individual, that person is compromised. He cannot speak. Ni mtu kama ameshikwa mateka. He can't breathe. Therefore, it is time to tell them to go home. So, I don't know who has remained with William Ruto. Anyone who will be seen in the State House going for a meeting in the name of religious leaders, we are going to know that these are just sell out. These are people who are going for brown envelope. True leaders will come to speak to this issue the way the Pope spoke to, through the Catholic leadership, the way the Sheikh is coming here to say the truth. This struggle has no face, no religion. It's no longer Christian or Muslim. These are just Kenyan children coming together. The struggle has no tribe. It's no longer about Kalenjin, nor Kikuyu, nor Luya, nor Luo. No, it is just about the youth of this nation taking over their space. Because of this is going to succeed, especially when it is also lacking the political leadership. No political face in this fight. You look at it, then you wonder, who is organizing this youth? No. This struggle has no any face. So because of that, it is the only way to save this country. So the struggle must continue, and William Ruto must listen to everyone. If he don't, then the revolution awaits him. Thank you so much, and see you in our next video.